Hello, Happy New Year. I am sorry it's been so long since I've made a video. I'm not sure that I made a video for the entire month of December. I should look, I guess, but maybe even it was the beginning of November. I'm not sure. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day is Friday. New Year's Day is Delta's birthday. She is turning 2. I can't believe, I know everybody says it, but time is passing so fast. With COVID and stuff, it's a bummer, of course, because we aren't doing family gatherings like we would normally. But, you know, we'll do another one. I did send out, normally I send out invitations that have like pictures, and usually it's a theme of whatever they're into at the time. So like Dana's second birthday, I think, was Peppa Pig themed. But with Delta, I went ahead and did Minnie Mouse because she's really into Minnie Mouse. Her first birthday invitation I did, or the theme was a bumblebee. So anyway, I'm at the grocery store getting ready to go in. I dropped the girls off at daycare, and then my plan was to go to Trader Joe's, and I drove all the way over there, and from 8 to 9 it was for people that are immunocompromised, and this was at 8:10, and I didn't realize, and so, you know, I was honest and said I'm not immunocompromised. So I didn't want to wait on that side of town, so I decided I'd come over to another grocery store, which works out, you know, it all happens for a reason. Delta has a dairy allergy that I've mentioned before, so I'm going to take cupcakes to the school today, and it is, so you just have to get vegan cupcakes, and then they're dairy free. So I think there's another kiddo that's either nut free or egg free. I can't remember. I think probably egg free. And then the daycare owner's birthday is on Saturday. I think Saturday. So I'm going to get her something as well. And then I'm going to go to Costco. I thought about doing a grocery haul, but I'll be honest, I'm just not up to it. So I'm not going to do it. I would rather just do this check-in video and yeah, let you know how I'm doing. Christmas went okay. Daniel had to work doubles, so he's a law enforcement officer, for those of you that don't know. So he had to work doubles on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we did Christmas on Saturday. And the girls are young enough, they really don't know what day is actually Christmas. And we didn't have the house decorated or anything. We decorated the outside a little bit. So, you know, they're just starting to get it. Dana, for those of you that don't know, has autism, and so she has a bit of a delay. On a lot of things, she's at the same level as Delta. So Delta was understanding, and they both got excited when it was time to open some presents. We didn't want to go crazy on the presents. And yeah, Dan and I each had our Amazon wish list, so that's how we bought for each other. His birthday is earlier in December, so I did buy him something sentimental for that. And yeah, I'm tentative to celebrate the new year. You all know like what a crazy year 2020 was, and man, I just think about all the riots we had in Portland, Oregon, which is where I'm at, and then all the fires and people losing their homes, and you know, being on evacuation notice, and like that was very scary. And you know, then that's just besides COVID. I mean, that's a whole other thing. So I've been seeing so many memes, but it's like, you know, let's all tiptoe into 2020 or 2021. And yeah, I have been struggling with some depression, especially in the last month or so. always seems to happen around the time of my cycles as well. And I've tried explaining it to Dan, like it feels, and this has been consistent since way before I met him even, but it feels like I'm cloaked in a gray blanket or something. Like I have a hard time being optimistic. I have a hard time just functioning. Like I'm doing the bare minimum and, you know, could cry at any minute and having a hard time seeing the positive things. So I've emailed my doctor and I have an appointment with her the first week of February to see if my medications need to be adjusted. They probably do. You know, depression is a thing. It's, you know, it's hard not to be ashamed of it, but the right thing to do is to not be ashamed of it. And not be afraid of medication. For myself, you know, I'm not advising you guys, but yeah, I just want to feel better, and I feel like I have more bad days than good days. And on the good days, I can tell because I wake up and I feel just lighter, you know, like that blanket is off. I'm able to, you know, see the positives. And the depression definitely leads to slippery slope eating things with sugar in them. I'm still whole food plant-based, which has been great. I mean, it's the thing that I've stuck to more than anything in many, many, many years. I still think I need to go back to a 12-step program because there are times that I'm white knuckling through the cravings to binge, and I want to be free of the compulsion. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I want to find food freedom, and the 12-step program offers that. So, I mean, you aren't like cured, but you know, it's way better, and I've experienced that. So I need to go back. It's just hard being humble, and it's hard asking for help, you know. Let's see. So I finished my coaching program with Ryan. I'm very happy I did that. I think I lost like 25 pounds total. I had to go down in a pant size, which, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I only have, I think, 3 pairs of the smaller pant size. So I've been doing a lot of laundry or wearing the 2 big ones, which is kind of uncomfortable because you just walk a short distance and they're falling off. So, so it's a good problem to have. It's just like, great, now I got to buy new clothes, as well as you don't really want to invest a lot of money in new clothes because, you know, hopefully I'll go down a size after that too. But yeah, I'm enjoying eating this whole food plant-based style. You know, there are definitely tweaks I could do to lose weight faster. There is she has a YouTube channel. Her name is Chef AJ, and she has a program that talks about volumetrics and calorie density. You know, 200 calories of broccoli is a lot different than 200 calories of rice. And she eats vegetables for breakfast and just really low calorie foods, and that helps a person to lose weight really fast. I am, you know, I do baby steps because I don't want to feel deprived and binge. However, I know I can't just eat anything I want. You know, there has to be some guidelines. So that's where I'm at with that. Time is just, oh man, I don't even know where to start with that. I struggle, you know, and that's maybe part of the depression, but I struggle with never feeling like I'm doing enough as a parent, as a person. My needs come last because I'm trying so hard to take care of other people, and then I still don't feel like that ever gets done. So Sleeping is still a pretty major issue. Dana, who has autism, has difficulty sleeping. And so we have done a lot of things, and I think I've talked about it with other videos, but sleep medicine doctors, sleep study, working with her pediatrician, working with the pediatric development department. So where we're at now is, I've even asked a psychic to help me. Where we're at now is we started her on some medication, and you know, I was hopeful that it would help her at least sleep 8 hours, or even 6 hours uninterrupted would be cool, but it's not so far. So the last 2 weeks I've kept a detailed sleep log of every time she's waking up. You know, is she wanting me to come in there or not? Is she getting herself back to sleep? How long was she awake? And gave that to the pediatric development doctor. And so her and I had a phone conversation yesterday. We're going to try a few different things, do another 2 weeks of the template. I made a template so that it's easy in the middle of the night to check off. And try and get this figured out. You know, she said kids with autism sometimes have a hard time shutting off their brain, which is absolutely true. I mean, I've sat with her where she physically looks like she's asleep, and suddenly she'll open her eyes and say, "Happy birthday." It's like, okay, but she just always has a running commentary in her mind, and she will often mime things, you know, like baking a cake, or she'll bring me, you know, the cupcake and make a wish, like blow out the candle. And she's just so funny. And then since the time change, Delta likes to get up at, well, they both get up in the 4 o'clock hour essentially. So Delta is ready to go to sleep by 7 usually, and sometimes even like 10 till 7. And because I'm not getting, you know, I'm averaging about 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and that's broken up sleep. That's not a solid window there. By the time 7 o'clock hits, I am just like checked out. So I'm trying to finish loading the dishwasher, wash my face, you know, doing all these things to kind of get ready, because as soon as the girls are in bed and asleep, I am trying to get to sleep. So, you know, I don't really have that downtime of like watching a funny show. I definitely don't have it with Dan. I mean, we have opposite schedules. But even just by myself doing something for me, there's just no time. Because if I do that, I get even less sleep. So sometimes on Dan's weekends, like the other day, we watched half of a movie, and I just was a wreck the next day because it meant 1 less hour of sleep. And so Dana will usually wake up with the medication. It does help her fall asleep. So she'll usually go to sleep about 7:30 or 8. And then she'll wake up around 11 and turn on her light. But often she'll fall back asleep. But that wakes me up because I can see it on the monitor or hear her singing or pacing or whatever she's doing. And then she usually wakes up between 2 and 3. And that's the time where she's usually awake at least a half an hour to an hour. Sometimes maybe half and half now, but it used to be all the time. But now it seems that she can kind of read a book or play enough to fall back asleep on her own without me going in there. But I'm awake because I'm watching the monitor to make sure she doesn't need me. Or in case she needs a diaper change. I really don't want her putting her hand down her diaper, which has happened a couple times, not very often, thank goodness, but I'm always paranoid about that. Excuse me. And so, for instance, I'll get her back to sleep at 3:15 or 3:30, and then Delta's waking up at 4 or 4:15. So it just sucks. It sucks. And, you know, I have never done well with sleep deprivation. That was the hardest part of having newborns, is the interrupted sleep and just not getting enough sleep. So I'm sorry to like bitch about it, but it's really a problem. It's a problem. And you know, sometimes I'll get to take a nap like during the day if Dan's off work, or if I have a day where they're at daycare. But you know, my days are filled with stuff anyway. So between working at home, getting, you know, errands ran, things like that, therapy appointment, coaching calls, you know, all these things, that the therapy and the coaching calls are more for me, but it's still work. It's not like fun, pleasurable stuff, if that makes any sense. So it's just hard right now. You know, I've had people tell me like, it's just going to be hard for a little while. And, that's where in the depression time, I have a hard time, seeing the positive, because I fall into that mode of, I'm never going to sleep in again. I'm never going to get even 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I'm never going to, you know, I was able to take that momcation a couple months ago now. And, you know, that was, sleeping by myself all night. You know, I was in a hotel room. But you know, how often does that happen? And my girls are really attached to me. So, you know, even if we got a babysitter and took off for the weekend, or, you know, they stayed with Dan multiple days, like I know they would miss me and I would miss them. And so this is what it is, you know, this is part of being a parent, and it just makes it hard on me, and it makes it hard to take care of myself, and hard to stay positive sometimes. I never feel like I'm doing it right. And now, you know, we're going into needing to potty train, and the girls still have binkies, which, you know, again, Dana has autism, so, you know, the doctors are not worried about it. I mean, obviously we want to try and change that. And so now that Delta's getting ready, you know, you can tell she's getting ready to want to potty train, and we need to get rid of the binkies. I don't like having a binky this late, but so we've reached out to one of our friends that has a ton of experience, so that we can have like a parental mentor, because we just don't feel confident. And you know, yeah, it'll be okay. I know they love us. That's the main thing, right? So there's lots to work on. You know, eating is a whole nother thing with my family. I have my own style of eating. Dan has his own style of eating. And the girls have their own style of eating. So, and we don't really have like sit down meals because of work schedules and stuff. And I'll sit down with the girls, but it's really hard to eat with them, because the minute I try and get everything ready, you know, I've got their almond milk, you know, on the table. I've got a washcloth. I've got, you know, their plates have food in the fork, and, you know, whatever. And like the minute I sit down to eat, they're finished, or they're, you know, I forgot to get them, you know, this or that, or they want more raspberries or whatever. So oftentimes I kind of just give up trying to eat with them. So again, it just doesn't feel consistent, but I'm sure trying. And yeah, I can't remember if I've said it in a video, but I came across a reel, you know, like I don't follow TikTok yet, but I've been looking at reels on Instagram here and there. And this woman, I think she was maybe like an MLM salesperson, but she kind of had like an attitude, and she's like, you know, instead of saying I don't have time, you need to say it's not a priority, because it's obviously not a priority that you want to spend time with your family or make money or, you know, do these things. So just, you know, say, rather than say I don't have time to do those things with my kids, say it's not a priority. And, you know, I kind of looked past like the attitude, and I was like, you know, that is true for me. There are so many things I wish I could do and would like to be doing, and I don't have time, and that means it is not a priority, unfortunately. You know, I would love to make videos. I have so many ideas. I would love to make cooking videos. I've got some recipes that I'm really happy with that I would love to share, and I just don't have time, which means it's not a priority because it would be depleting me even more. And I just have to be realistic about that. And so often I do feel depleted. There's just not enough of me to go around and not enough time. And that's with my kids in daycare. I can't even imagine the parents that don't have that kind of help, what they go through. And it just makes me all the more thankful that we are in a position to have them in daycare, and they learn so much. I mean, oh my goodness, they're so smart and they learn so much, and I'm just super appreciative of it. So, anyway, I think that's a good place to leave off. I'm sure there's more I could talk about, but that's where I'm at. So I hope you guys had happy holidays. I hope you're doing well. And please leave a comment below. I would love to hear it. And hopefully it won't be that long before my next one. Okay, bye.